Thank you. Now I'm under a super heavy pressure because I was supposed to finish my presentation at 12:05, but now it's 12:07. So I tried to make it really quick, and I really thank to the third presenter because in his last slide, right before the thank you slide, he was talking about IoT and smart city, and my topic is IoT and then the smart city. That's the work or activities that we are involved in lately. And as the Professor Singh introduced myself, our research center is like the IoT center, and recently we changed the name into the autonomous IoT because that's our vision. And the IoT stuff, which is one M2M standard-based IoT platform MobiSys, that's one topic. That's our kind of history. And the other one, the Smart City Data Hub, that is the current work and for the future work. So let's talk about the first one, the 1M2M and MobiSys. And I don't think some of you heard about 1M2M or MobiSys. So just briefly. 1M2M is the standard organization and also the technology name. So it was formed with different regional standard organization like the SC that you might be familiar, and the TTA. TTA is like the European SC. So in short, just like the 4G, 5G network standard from 3GPP, 1M2M really kind of try to deliver the world global standard for the IoT platform. And IoT platform is really ambiguous because there are hardware platform, software platform, and for the software platform there are different platforms. And what we are talking about, IoT platform is like the, for your convenience, IoT middleware platform for your application or software implementation. So 1M2M is, I say, the global standard, but for the standard guys, the global standard can be a bit misleading. So now we can say that 1M2M standard is the international standard like the ISO, IEC, and ITOT because we transformed our specifications, the industrial standard, into the ITU standard, which is the recommendations. So you can see the list of the standards, and I'm not going to talk about the details for the sake of time. And 1M2M, again, this is the standard, and 1M2M organization has been kind of formed or established in late 2012. So it's been like almost 8 or 9 years, and we do provide stable standards, a series of standards, not just one or two. And the motivation to have 1M2M organization with global standard partners is like, okay, let's build or let's provide the common IoT middleware. Even the slide says a service, common service layer. It would be really ambiguous to you. So as I said, probably it should be the IoT middleware for your different domains, like the car and home and energy, whatever. And this is the same story for the smart city platform that I will be talking about really soon. So 1M2M provides the really generic or horizontal platform, then you don't have to worry about the middle box and you just focus on the application or services or the device, or if you're the network provider, you keep working on your network. So that's the motivation or the vision of the 1M2M. And now I'm talking about release 4. That means we already published release 1, 2, 3 specifications as a series, and there are out like the commercial products and the deployments or pilots out there, and especially in Korea we have a lot. And 1M2M certification program has been formed by the Korean organization TTA, and they are still the test lab for the certification program itself with the standard. And in release 1 to 3, there are Korean operators like the SK Telecom, KT, and LG U+. They all implemented 1MPM standard interfaces to their system. Even the commercials on the TV, they don't say 1MPM, but technologies are out there. So for the new topic, release 4, and this year we finished release 3 and we started working on release 4, and the new topics would be like the V2X, like the vehicle thing, and the edge and fog, and the service scheme, or the other domain of the information model, and the semantics. And just briefly talking about the 3PP interworking. We provide a lot of interworking, and from the talk the higher this morning, he was talking about the OCF, and OCF is another industry specification with the open source implementation. And 1M2M as the kind of center, as we think, or in my opinion, standard technologies, we provide a lot of interworking schemes, interworking specifications, not just the OCF. And before, we also covered O-join, and now we are talking about ZigBee and the other. Not just the protocol level, or we also provide semantic level. And the other aspect of the interworking is like the 3PP network, because 3PP, not by themselves, but helped by the OMA. Now they call their organization like the OMA SpecWorks, and they provide APIs for the 3PP core network, and those APIs will be interwork with 1MTM platform. Then the application developers for 1MTM, they just care about 1MTM interfaces, because they normally work with the APIs like file sharing or group fan out and subscription notification and so on. And just like they do with 1MTM platform, they just talk with 1MTM to do something in the field area of the 3PP network, our cell phone or all the other NB-IoT enabled devices. And now we are also focusing on the vehicle domain enablement and smart city and the other stuff. So skipping about all the technical details, I will just tell you the concept or what we do in really high level from 1M2M. And now I want to talk about the open sources. And one of the idea that I had in my mind before I start my presentation here, because this is a really academic conference, as I think, and probably the benefit that I can give you would be like, how can we support your research as a tool? Because I'm talking about the IoT platform, and I'll be talking about the smart city platform. And what I can do is, okay, there are open source implementations with a specification that you might be interesting for your research later. So those are the open source projects for 1MPM, and unlikely the OCF, that's not the official one, but they are member-driven activities. And in the middle one, we call it Ocean, and that is led by Katie. And what we want to say is, depending on your experience or your skill set, you can choose one of them. So you can work with the 1MPM specification, because they are all 1MPM implementation. So briefly, Ocean is led by Katie, and not just the platform implementation, we also provide the tools like the developer tool, how they can see all the changes inside the 1MPM platform, just like the database or workbench or whatever. And we also got the certification, which is really the 1MPM official one that launched last year. And our MobiSys implementation got the first open source certification so far. And for the license, this is PSD3, so it's basically really free. And this is a history snapshot for the Ocean and MobiSys and the other components. And the very first official launch was in 2015. And in the meantime, the 1MPM specification has been kind of growing and kind of bug fixing something. And we also kind of went that path, and there are a lot of kind of commercial implementation and the offerings in the time frame. And this is the third event, which is the MobiSys Developers Challenge. And just for yourself, MobiSys is one of the core component that Ocean provides, which is the 1M10 server platform. 1M10 provides logically server platform, gateway platform, and device platform, and applications. And this would be the server platform implementation from Ocean. And this is the third event, and for this year, and that means that there was the other challenges 2 years ago and last year. So not just the open source implementation of the specification or the international standard, we really try to get involved a lot of developers. Some of them are startups, some of them are research engineers, just like you guys. And the deployments for those open source implementations, and this is the Goyang Smart City project that has finished in 2018, and they adapted the open source and put it into the core module into the Smart City platform. And just another industry adoption. This is the factory, and the thing are the commercial solution from this SME. They built a system to monitor all the fine dust in the big steel making company, because the dust level is really crucial for their factory, so they provide the solution. And the bottom ones illustrates the gas monitoring infrastructure that has been deployed in Korea. And they also use the MobiSys solution for the platform. Now, I already spent more than 10 minutes, and the second topic would be shorter. And this is our main focus these days for CATI, or our research center. And basically, this is the smart city platform that we are building with lots of partners or the consortium members in the project, and we just call it a data hub, because regarding the smart city, we think data is a really crucial part, and what we are building is a data-centric platform. And just a background of that Smart City Data Hub. So this is the Korean government-funded R&D plus pilot project program. And the reason that I'm talking this is the program is this one consists with 3 different projects. And the first one is the kind of, we say, R&D project. And the other 2, project 2 and 3, are the pilot projects. So project 1 delivers the technology, and project 2 and 3 do all the piloting for the platform that we built from project 1, and also all different services piloting in different cities. Project 2 involves with Daegu Metro City, and project 3 for Siheung in Gyeonggi Province. Just one more picture to understand the program. So again, this is project 1, 2, 3, and there are several technical components, deliverables. And the project 1 is led by CATI, and we are developing the Smart City Data Hub. And you can find the other network-oriented topic, like the massive IoT or the Smart City. And also, as an application from this project, we will deliver the digital twin platform. And you can see the other service teams that will work with the platforms deployed by this project and this project in different cities. That's the basic scheme for the program. And now let me talk about the system briefly, because I didn't expect I have a lot of time to explain all the details. So just the high-level figures that you can understand the Smart City Data Hub. So this colored box, the big box, is the data hub, and this one consists with several layers or the module. And the important thing is the Smart City has already deployed a lot of systems. Some of them are IoT systems, like the 1MPM that I mentioned, or probably the other older proprietary or the other standard-based deployments, like the platforms. And of course, proprietary solutions all the way. And there are public open data like SICAN from UK, Canada, and the USA. And also in Korea, we have a lot of open data portal from different government ministries. So what I want to say is there are many systems and protocols and the platforms and services that can provide all the data in the terms of the smart city. So we collect all the data, and of course uh, uh, we are making kind of specifications for the API and the data model. And in the previous presentation, there was a topic like the data quality, and so far we don't consider the AI-enabled data quality management, but probably we can think about it soon. And so far, to assure the data quality, what we are doing in this project is making the data model as standards. So everyone will follow the or conform to the data model specifications. Then all different data models, for example, the parking data from this domain and this domain or this system, they will be converted into the same or common model that we define in this system and will be loaded here. And those will be consumed by the older analytics module or the AI module later and will be finally consumed by the service applications. Then every situation is really simple and easy because the application developers here or the AI or the analytics professionals, they have all the same specification for the parking data, air quality data, and fine dust data, all different domains. And that's what we are doing in this project. And of course, this is the data-centric platform, so you see the data layer, which provides the big data and the relational database. And on top of that, you can see several modules that we are working on, semantics and analytics, and the data service like the data trading or data marketplace that is being developed. And probably there will be more modules that we can kind of fit into this architecture because we really want to make it a really flexible. Then the other people or organization can participate and provide more modules on the top and more adapters, even if you don't see on the diagram itself. But when you bring your own system or the other system that we don't provide in this project, then you can build your adapters following the standard like the API or the data models that we make. That's the concept, and this is something that we did last year. And our project has started like practically September and late September. So we had 3 or 4 months, and we even with the time shortage, we really wanted to show or prove the concept of our architecture and the motivations. So what we did is that we get 3 different domain models. One is the parking data from the 1M platform that I mentioned in the first topic. And the other one is like the weather data, like the temperature or the cloudy, sunny. And the other one is the air quality data. And here in Korea, probably just like the China, the fine dust situation is really bad, and that's the critical matter. And we thought not just the historical data of the parking information or data, but also the weather data and the fine dust air quality data will impact the parking facility, their occupation by the users. And finally, the application shows that, okay, for the next week or for the next 24 hours, the parking lot congestion is estimated like this. And to do that estimation, we built the very first version of the analytic module, which gets all the historical data and like the weather forecast and the fine dust forecast data to anticipate or estimate the parking availability. So that was the proof of concept that we did in short time last year. And we are trying to kind of make this application implementation again with the real system that we are going to finish this year. So concept or the service is the same, but we really try to make it happen with the system we are developing and we are going to provide to you. And this is the second last slide, and this is more complicated figure than the previous one, and this is the current version. And I don't want to talk about all the details, and probably you can just take a look. So all the modules and the data core with the big data framework, and all the cloud infra management and the data ingest with different adapters. Okay, so this is the timeline, and we are now at this time frame, I think. So we're supposed to finish our specifications, but it takes a bit more longer time than we expected. And the ultimate goal for this year is like we finish our first data hub implementation as a prototype. Then we can use that one and have some proof of concept in different cities in the third year. This is the last figure, and what I want to say, talk about is the open source. And just like the open source activity that we have or we try to do with the MobiSys or the 1M2M, we really want to do the similar thing or the better thing with the Smart City Data Hub. And as you saw, there are several modules because that is really a modular or flexible architecture that we want to. And so each module can be offered by different kind of company or the technology developers. Not just the consortium members that we work with at the moment, because we were going to publish our specifications in public, and there will be the open source implementation for your reference. So if you are the kind of SME or startup with a good idea or good skill set, then you can offer the same module but with a better performance or good technical support to the industry. So this would be like a Lego block. So the other people or main stakeholders like the cities later in Korea or the other international cities, they can acquire or they can build up their own smart city platform with the open source modules that we or the other people can offer as a big ecosystem. Yeah, I spent over more than 20 minutes, and thank you again for the opportunity that I can introduce what we are doing lately, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you.